Welcome to Couch Conversations. It's real talk and transformation. A time of transition, hearts on fire. Come make a declaration so we can go higher.
Hello, family, and welcome back to Couch Conversations. Real talk, righteous perspective, where we keep it real and we keep it righteous. Tonight is a special Black History edition. That's why I have my dashiki on. Now, last week's conversation with Elder Max on the church's responsibility in this political climate was good. I know it was technically over, y'all, but the cameras were still rolling. And listen, that's when the real nuggets started falling. There was no script, no polish, just straight truth on the couch. So, and that's what made it powerful. So today, because those gems just didn't inspire us, they educated us about our Black history, the kind of history you don't always get in a textbook, the lived experience, the hard-earned lessons, and the why behind how we got here. And as believers, we know God is in our story, because what he brings us through becomes what he teaches us with. So tonight's theme is uncut and off the couch. We're going to allow you all to peek in to those nuggets and hear the conversation. And I have with me Justin Hines. I want to hear how this 26-year-old, you're 26?
27.
27, he's so old. This 27-year-old representing the next generation. I want to see how he's going to react to these clips in real time. So, all right, let's get into it. So, Justin,
Yeah.
this is uncut and off the couch.
Yeah.
So let me say this for the people so they won't think we were being deceptive.
Right.
At first, Elder Max was just talking, and he said, are those cameras off?
Yep. And we kept them rolling.
And we kept them rolling, right? We were like, they're still rolling.
A little bit.
And you are the mastermind behind that, because you recognize he was spitting so much truth and so much knowledge.
Yeah.
And not just about the political era, but how we got to where we are.
Yep.
And so it's only right that we do a special edition Black History one. This is the last Thursday in the month of February.
Yep.
And so it's only right that we do a Black History edition. And so I want to show our audience, our listeners, the clips. And then I want you to respond to them. Okay? Okay.
Gotcha.
Just to see how you, as the next generation, and no pressure. No pressure.
No.
You don't have to carry everybody. You don't have to carry the entire next generation. But just a representation. I would love to hear your response, because you couldn't say much because you were behind the cameras.
Yep.
And that's why, y'all, we're in a different scene. Like, we're off the couch. This is uncut, but we still having the conversation.
Yeah.
And so one of the clips, and I have my glasses, my dashiki, and my notebook, because this is serious matter. And I don't want to misquote, or I don't want to get anything wrong. So I wrote some stuff down. Okay. So we're gonna let y'all see the clips. So one of the clips that we're about to play, Elder Max talked about experience versus education. Mm-hmm. He said if he could go back, one of the things that he thought that could be done or could have been done was to teach finances. But he said something very interesting. Y'all check this out. He said that finances weren't taught because during his time, it was really, people were in survival mode. You didn't have time to sit down and write out a budget. Y'all check this out and see what he says.
We can do way better, and that's another part of the education piece. And teaching finances.
Oh, yeah.
Within our own household, within our own community. And I will acknowledge, and I told them with the men's round table, it was something that I had never done in life. And I'm gonna live with some regrets. But I had never, in my whole life, I never sit down and put a budget on a spreadsheet. Look at where your money is going and look at it. And then for us to invest, that was the word that was not taught because, but then I'm not going to try to make an excuse. But mine was a survival mode. We couldn't even think of investment. we were trying to eat. That's why I say I think experiences will teach you something that you really can't learn academic through a book. My family one time ate bread and gravy for almost 6 months off of a hot plate.
Wow.
And that's all we had. And they started free lunch. I think it was 65. It was after London Johnson, 65, 66. It's when we used to go to school, if you didn't have no lunch, you just didn't have no lunch. But that experience really taught me, and that's what connected. And it was basically the black church that really helped. And I saw that within that civil rights era.
Whew! I told you, Justin. He started out spitting.
He did.
So what are your thoughts about what Elder Max said, but also what do we need to do now? What do we need to do?
It definitely starts in the schools, but it also starts at home.
Okay.
So for me, I was taught early to save money or save aggressively and and how to like budget. So I always had like, you call it a piggy bank, but I'd take like, let's say I had $5 and they were all ones. I'd take like 3 of those dollars and save them. And then the other 2 I'd keep for myself.
Right.
So each time I got money like that, I'd accumulate it. And I still carry that with me now. So when he said he never in all his life did a budget,
right,
I was like, wow, well, I actually do that now. But that wasn't something I was taught in school. I would learn that at home.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the issue. We're not teaching things like that that's tangible to life in school. And that would help people to just navigate life a little better. Because there are people my age and even younger who I've spoken to, and they might even have, like, they might not understand like how a credit card works.
Right.
And I was talking to somebody and they thought, oh, well, I had $500. It was in credit. It wasn't $500 that you had to spend and just freely spend it.
Right.
You have to pay that money back.
Right.
And things like that, and they don't understand interest rates and how all of this accumulates. And if we could catch that now, then that we can fix a lot of the issues that we'll have financially within our communities and things of that nature.
And so let me say this, and I'm not excusing the home because I do agree it starts at home. But to Elder Max's point, I do believe that there's still a sense of struggle when we look at economic disparities, when we look at pay gaps between African Americans and our white counterparts. There is still a sense of a financial struggle.
Yep.
How can we partner the church, the schools, the homes to really support our sisters and brothers with educating their the next generation to get that done?
We have to be honest. We can't act like everything is still good.
Okay.
Like if there's a struggle, you have to acknowledge it, talk about it, and be real about it.
Justin, get off the couch. You sitting already about it. Make me cry. Justin, you're only 27 years old. You cannot sound like you're 50. Oh my God. You're about to make me cry because you're right.
Yeah, we just can't act like everything is perfect. If you're real about it, and that's how we were in my house. We would talk about things. So we're like, like my mom would say, hey, we're tight on this, or this is going on, or I have this to pay, but and we have a lot of financial conversations in my house and with my parents and things like that, because that helps it drive home better. Like, wow, so this is why this is this way. And again, same with the church and home and in school, if everybody had that real conversation, that this is how things are, here's why we're struggling, here's how you might be struggling, and here's how you can get past it.
And that is so good, Justin. And I don't want to keep harping on the struggle, but I think our past generations struggle so much that they try to guard and keep us from struggling. And in turn, we pass it on down to keep, I'm not old enough to be your mother, but I'm old enough to be your auntie, right? And so the aunties try to guard the next generation from that struggle.
Yeah.
So how is that a good thing, but also how could that be a not so good thing when you don't allow the realness of the struggle to be in the face of those who are coming up?
It's good because it shows how much we've grown, but it's like you said, it's a hindrance because even though in showing how much we've grown, you're then like you're not allowing that history of the struggle to still exist.
Yes.
So that you can reference it and you're passing these stories and you're like, wow, so that's how that was. Like my grandma would tell me stories of things and I'd be like, you didn't have what? Like you couldn't what? Yeah. But if you don't share those things, it doesn't connect to you because you just see the world as how you see it now.
Right.
You can't imagine what was past if you didn't live through it or if there's no one telling the story of it.
Yeah. And because it's not that far removed.
It's not.
I was talking to my mother-in-law, and she was telling me that they were sharecroppers. So the generation before them were slaves. Yeah. I'm like, so her mom and dad were sharecroppers. So their mom and dad. So it's really my husband's great grandma. Was like, you know what I'm saying? That generation was slaves.
It's like when you think of it like that, you're like, wow, that's not that long ago. It's not. And especially when you think about it as how quick time moves. Yes. Because even now I'm like, how are we in 2026?
Already.
How are we like? There's no way you can tell me 20 years ago was this and that and that. Like, it's just that. Yeah. But when you think about it, how much can happen in that time? It's not that long ago.
It's not long ago. Okay, Justin, we have a lot to look at. We probably won't get through all of them, but Elder Max dropped so many nuggets. I do want you to respond to some. Okay, the next clip that we're going to show is when he was talking about the turn of voting. So he mentioned a statistic of some 2 million black men that voted for Donald Trump under the age of 50. And I was doing my own research, and he was saying the research was showing that there was a shift in men under the age 50. So in 2020, Biden they favored Biden by 10 points. But in 2024, there was a shift, and it nearly doubled in the support among black voters, men voters for Trump, nearly doubled. You're a black man. You are under 50. Respond to that. Well, let's let them see the clip first, and then you respond to it. Okay, let's show the clip.
I don't want to give this stat, but it was from Ms. Carter. I think it was something like 2 million black men that voted for Donald Trump. Ooh. And the bulk of them were like between 18 and 27 years old. And when I tried to connect with some of the younger blacks and tell them, and which I voted for Democrats and Republicans. I voted that over the years. But in that case, I said this is different. This is totally different here. And I said because if you don't, the policies that they're going to put in place is going to reverse everything but they couldn't connect. The National Urban Needs report card, Joe Biden had done more for America as a whole and more for diversity, and particularly with blacks, for everybody, since Lyndon Johnson. Wow. And you can look in it and you read, and I tried, this is why I said the data is going to be so important, is that they were bragging off Donald Trump had given the HBCUs $400 million, right? Do you know how much Joe Biden gave them in the time that he was there? 17 B. Wow. 17 billion. Wow. 17 billion. And I talked to some of the young people and I said, do you realize what this really means for you? They said, I don't care. You're going to have to talk to us straight. You're going to have to come talk to us. When Barack Obama tried to tell them, say, hey man, hey y'all don't realize what y'all risking. No, you don't come talk to us any kind of way. Now you are being talked to any kind of way.
Wow.
He's right.
So he even talked about his effort in educating and trying to help combat some of their, I guess, misthinkings or misunderstandings. So you're a black male, you're under 50. What are your thoughts? And did you vote for Trump? No, you don't have to say.
No, I will say that. No, I did not. But I think it doesn't surprise me because we are at a point now where, well, for one, it doesn't surprise me because when the current administrations are in office, people don't feel as though they might be getting things quicker or they might not be getting their issues resolved quicker because policy doesn't move that fast. It takes time. Same thing I'll just bring it back real quick to the finance thing. People will say, okay, the economy was this, the economy was that. Well, you have to take into account. People don't take into account all the aspects that go into certain things like that.
Yes.
So like we came out of a pandemic. Of course, the world was shut down. Prices are gonna skyrocket when everything comes back, but you have to let it come back down.
Right.
And when it comes to policies such as the economy, it takes at least 2 years into the current president's presidency for that to be reflected. Now that might be different now because Trump forcing all the tariffs and things of that nature. But the economy that we're feeling now pulled from what Biden left. So he can claim it, but it's not really his until we'll probably see it next year. Or later in the year, probably next year.
Yeah.
So the shift isn't really a surprise to me because I've heard a lot of people say, well, you know, Democrats didn't do this for me or they didn't do that for me. Because it takes time to feel things.
Yes.
And it's also an issue of speaking directly to an issue. We can't sugarcoat things.
Wow.
Because some people don't, you have to tell it to them how it is. You have to bring it home to them. You can't sugarcoat things because they're not going to understand it and they're not going to see how it relates to them.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm trying to advocate politically, I'm telling people, like, you can vote for the president all you want to, but it's still things that trickle down even to your local level.
Yeah.
You have to be engaged and like know that every little thing can domino effect and affect your life. So if you're not paying attention to who's saying what, who's doing what, who's passing what, you're gonna miss. And then you're gonna feel like, oh well, they didn't do anything for me.
Wow.
You wouldn't have felt it or you wouldn't have known it because you didn't plug in where you could have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where they're missing it. And they're just hearing how or seeing how Trump acts and hearing it.
Right.
And because of how we are on social media now, they might see him clap back at somebody and they're like, oh yeah, you did. so just off of that, they're like, wow, okay, well you now have my support because of how you clap back at somebody, but you're missing the point.
That clapback stuff from the president is really getting on my nerves. I told you I'm the auntie. I'm the auntie in this chair, but you're right. That instant response, that what seems as if things are moving quickly, but really they're moving quickly to move us backward.
Yeah. Because
that's what the urgency is.
Yeah, and when you pay attention to that, you realize so things can move quick. Things can happen overnight. Yes, they can if you have the right people or if your attention is in the right place.
Yes,
it can move quick.
Yes.
Because nothing's stopping the House of Representatives from calling a session right now. Somebody write a bill, pass it, and they pass it, it goes off to the Senate, and now the president signs it. Nothing's stopping that. But when the mindset isn't there or the priority isn't there, now you do have, people don't understand that either. You can have legislation in the House of Representatives, and if you don't get a certain number of votes on it, it's not going anywhere. So you can say, oh, well, they're not doing anything for me. They're trying, but there's not enough votes. And the votes come when you vote every 2 years. Like, you have to vote for the people in these midterms. And that's what makes that change, but people don't realize that. And they just think the big picture, the president. And that's it.
So listen, I can pause right there because we are, so this is Thursday. Saturday is the last day of early voting. And then March 3rd is the primaries, the day to vote. So if you have not voted, this is a Black History segment.
Yes.
I do not need to go into all of the struggle of our ancestors, the historical actions that took place for us to vote. If you have not voted, now we can glean from history to make history. Let's let this be the largest turnout for a primary. we can, I'm talking to people in Rocky Mount, Nashville, Edgecombe County, Nash County, Wilson County, the surrounding areas. But, I'm hoping, Justin, that we're going nationwide. I'm hoping that this segment goes viral. But so if we are talking to other people, y'all, let's make history by gleaning from history. Let's get out and vote in record numbers in a primary.
Yeah.
Because data shows, and I don't have the specific numbers, but data shows the significant gap between primaries election and then the presidential elections.
Yep.
There is a significant
because
gap.
people don't understand what they're voting for outside of the president, so they think that's the main thing.
Wow.
But if you only vote in every 4 years, but every 2 years they're voting for who's in the House and who's in the Senate and who's doing this and who's doing that, you're missing where you can get what you think you're going to get every 4 years when you vote.
Right. Wow. So Justin, I'm about to call you Elder Junior. So I have a new name for you because you are educating us as well.
Justin, I'm online a lot. I read a lot. I'm always looking at different opinions. So
that's good. And you are mostly always behind the camera telling me the time.
Yeah.
So you have to help us keep up with our time because our segment is only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I was trying to remember that.
So because I see your passion. And then you have done due diligence and making sure you are an informed next generation person. Right? You're not going off just emotions. You're not going off feelings, trends. You're not going for the bait, right? The hype. You are doing your due diligence and doing your research, your study, and making sure your decisions are sound.
Yep.
Justin, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I am proud of you. And so we have another clip I want to show them. So Elder Max talked about the 3 forms of evil. That was deep.
It was.
Racism, materialism, and militarism. But he talked about how capitalism played a part and reducing. He's talking about coming in through Ronald Reagan, and it was just a historical. So y'all will be able to watch the clip. But he talked about that whole term, by any means necessary, reducing the values of people, like taking away. So we started being more concerned about getting more, and being defined by all the more we get, that we stop thinking about one another. So we started getting in a rush to get the what, and we didn't focus on the who. Y'all look at this next clip.
But anyway, those 3 forms of evil. So when you put capitalism, that materialism and capitalism in there, and capitalism could be a good thing, but when it reduces it and say, by any means necessary, you take away all types of values that a person had, because the only thing I'm concerned about is the bottom line. That's where they have us now, and they got our minds conditioned that, even to, and I saw the shift in this crass materialism thing back, and it happened back under Ronald Reagan, because Jimmy Carter was leaving office, and he was trying to get us to understand that we could have self-autonomy. We had our own destination in our own hands if we weren't relying so much on foreign subsidies, and for us to understand that we can live with less. But Ronald Reagan came along and said, no, you don't have to live like that. So we're going to start, and they started with all these brands and all this type of stuff. We didn't have all them brands when I was coming along, and all that. So they started branding everything. So then this thing became a social thing in school where everybody was going to compete against each other. Now, what you were wearing and what he was wearing, and the Nikes and the Jordan, and it created this war and this dissension, and it just sucked all the resources out of it. And then this is where, particularly in our community, where we really totally became consumers versus producers.
Wow.
And so now this is where we are, and everything. It seems like are we really producing anything? It's just like within us in the Black community, we are consumers, but at large, America at large. So now everybody got to have the best of material.
All facts.
All facts. And drop gems.
Yeah.
He dropped gems. So what are your thoughts about that? And even if you talk about other sneaky strategies that may be coming up that we need to be mindful of? What is your response to that?
Well, for one, where he was talking about like all these brand names. So now granted, you know, I love a Nike, or I love a this, I love a that, but I never really understood the always going out to get this, that, and the other. Like, I mean, for me, it was, if I had it and I wore it and it was fine, I could fit it. Like, I might still see some stuff that I want.
Right.
And that's the problem that ended up growing a lot. And it's in our community, but it's in general.
It's in general.
And we're so stuck on this, like, oh, you not wearing that, or oh, you must not.
Right.
But if you think about it, some of the people who have a lot of money, they're not always showing it. To me, if you always have to show it, you don't have it. If you always got to be flashy and you got to show this, you got to show that, you don't really have it.
Where's my phone? I'm about to tweet that. If you got to show it, you don't have it.
You don't have it. And I'm going to use an example here of J. Cole. I love J. Cole. You know, everybody knows rapper, this and that and the other. You don't see him driving all these expensive cars. You don't see him wearing all these crazy brands. If you see him on the street, you think he's a regular person. Because that mindset is what helps to keep the wealth.
Yeah.
It helps to spread the wealth within our community, because you're not just throwing it out here.
Right.
You can keep that. You can show it. You can show, hey, I'm still a regular person. I can still be me.
Right.
I can still have influence.
Yeah.
I don't have to have what everybody else wants or what everybody else thinks is cool.
And people, you know, when we understand who we are, I really want this conversation, this campaign, because I mean, you have inspired me to keep this going, to be about helping our people understand who we are from what we've overcome, and to look forward to what influence and impact we can have. Yeah. But when you understand identity, and you know I'm a preacher. Yeah. I'm a preacher now. I got to take it back to understanding who we are in Christ. Yes. And being good with him declaring us good, as Genesis 1 tells us, that he looked at creation and said, it is good. When he looked at man, he says, very good. Yeah. When we're good with that, then we don't need name brands to define us. Yeah. When people ask me where I get my stuff from, I honestly, I get it from, I can shop at Ross, I can shop at Macy's, I can shop at Roses. Well, not Roses no more. Yeah. Until they get themselves together. Yeah. This is a Black History. This is a Black History segment. Yeah. Until they get themselves together. But I can shop anywhere. And like you said, if I like it, if it fit, and it's within my budget, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, because I'm not going broke to impress people. You're going broke to impress people.
Impress people.
And what are they doing for you?
Nothing. Poor pastor said they won't even take off for your funeral.
There you go. There you go. You won't even take off for the funeral.
And we're trying to impress them.
We're trying to impress them.
You know? And I think that has now pit us, as Grandma would say, us against one another. Yeah. You know, so you think about the bullying or the stealing or the killing. I remember one season, and I don't remember what year it was, but all the Jordans were coming out back to back to back, and then you heard like news stories of young boys getting shot over Jordans or jumped over Jordans or rock. You know, it was just crazy. Yeah. And so I think if we can understand, I want our identity as a people to come from the strength we have as a people. Yeah. And when we understand we are stronger together, that strength is unmatched.
Yeah. Because when we're fighting amongst each other over who has what or who looks a certain way, right? We're not together. So then it's easier to pick us apart. Yeah. So then it is easier to try to pass something or call out this and because they're not together. Right. We can easily, pick them off, move on to the next thing. Right. It just makes it too much easier.
That is good. Now, can you see, just piggybacking off of what Elder Max said about that being a strategy to really hold us down or put us against each other, are there any other sly, sneaky strategies that are out there that we need to be aware of as a people? I know that's an off-the-cuff question.
It is, but I'm going to say the biggest one that's coming up now because we're still trying to navigate it is AI.
Wow.
Because AI and social media. Because somebody can easily put an opinion out there, and unless you're going and fact-checking it, you don't know if it's true or if it's false. And same thing with AI. We can create, every day it's advancing. Like, I just saw something, I was like, wow, that looks too real.
And it was AI?
And it was AI. And if we're not training ourselves to catch the misinformation or to catch things that aren't fake, that aren't real and that are fake, we're going to get lost, and then we're going to end up shifting to believing things that aren't really real.
Yeah.
And then when we're believing that, we're sharing that.
Right.
And now we're just sharing false stuff.
Right.
And no one knows what the truth is.
No one knows the truth.
And again, easier to pick us off.
Wow, that's good. So what... That'll preach us. Because I was about to go. I was going to tell you where I was about to go. One, that means as a people, we need to be developed. We need to read. We need to make sure we educate ourselves. We need to, like you said, know what the truth is, or even know how to get the truth. What are some means? What are some trusted sources?
Yes.
Who are some? That's why I loved when Elder Max was just on the couch, because you, Brandy, Sarika, was looking at him and you knew he was a trusted source. Yeah. You heard the love, you felt the passion, and you knew what he was saying was truth. Yeah. Right? And so we need to know what are some trusted sources, what are some reliable resources. Yeah. So we need to be developed. But we also, y'all, we need to pray for discernment.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are some things that only, because the one person or the one being who's not surprised is God. God, yeah. He is not surprised. Yeah. And so we need, and the Bible talks about in James 1, he gives us wisdom when we ask him for it. And so the Holy Spirit within us, and those, just as believers, we have the gift of the Holy Spirit, gives us discernment. Yeah. So we need to sharpen that discernment through prayer. We need to sharpen that discernment through the fellowship of believers. Yeah. Like you can say, Pastor Stephanie, that don't make sense. Yeah. That really think about this, Pastor Stephanie. Yeah. You know, and they're like, you're right, Justin. Yeah. That don't make sense, right?
I don't like to, say act like I know everything or anything like that. But we need to pray, tap in with God to give us that discernment that can then help us as we navigate on social media. Okay. So that we can see these things. And as we're doing that, we need to look at things like, is this person really being real? Are they being true about what they're saying and how they're conveying it? And I think that's the issue of where some of our people get lost when it comes to voting, because they're looking at how it's being shared or how it's being portrayed or presented to people. Yeah. Because if you're presented as too perfect, it's not going to relay. But so that's why I say some of them might go with Trump, because they see all of this mess, and to them it's like that's what it is. And they're like, and they're like, oh, okay, so this man is true. He is how he is. They can't change him, right? And then if you go, I'm just go to another side or anybody else, and you see, everything's perfect or everything's this, and we can do this, we can do that. It doesn't relay as well. So then they're like, I don't trust you. Yeah. You might be lying.
Y'all, this Uncut Off the Couch, but still having a conversation episode was in honor of Black History Month. I want to say thank you to Elder Max and to Justin, who responded so eloquently and continued with the education. Y'all, let's glean from our history so that we can continue to move forward in the strength of our history. Happy Black History Month.